Hi again guys, and welcome to, of course, another circuit tune for Gran Turismo Sport for one of the new vehicles to the game, the BMW E92 M3. Now this is a D tune, but in particular it's designed with cornering and handling in mind, so if you do want to give it more power, you definitely can. You don't have to keep this in N300, and pretty much all of my tunes work that way. If you are new to the channel, you don't have to stick to the class. You can just use it as a rough guide, primarily to improve the handling. And then, of course, power tends to take care of itself for the most part. Just adjust the gears accordingly if you do go up to, say, N400 or N500 or whatever the case may be. Now, I've optimized this one for N300 to see what it's capable of, put it up against some cars which it could stand a pretty good chance against. Now, I've dropped the weight as far as you can go. It drops around 250 kilos off of the curb weight, which is pretty good. It's still not exactly a flyweight, but you know, that's as far as you can go. As far as power, as I said, I've reduced it to N300, but that will depend on you basically and what you need from the car. Traction control we've got turned off. Tyres on sport softs, as we often do. For the same reason as always, racing tyres are better, but if you can make it good on sports tyres, then of course racing will be even better. So it gives you an idea of what the car is capable of. As far as the suspension, I've got the ride height dropped to 100mm, so only 10mm higher than the lowest. As far as the frequency, we've got that on 2 for the front and the back. Anti-roll on 8 and 7, so fairly high for that. As far as the dampers, 63 on compression, 91 on the rebound, neutral camber along with neutral toe as well. You can't adjust the downforce on this one, of course. As far as the diff, I've actually fitted the fully customized diff, but I've left the settings essentially the same as stock, 7, 30 and 15, because I find it's actually perfect with that already. It feels fantastic through corners. And then as far as, of course, finally the gearbox, in particular because we've reduced the power, we've gone for a fully customized transmission with an auto setting of 124 miles per hour. Then for individual gears, as you can see, 3975, 2.6, 2050, 1675, and then both 5th and 6th, or actually just 5th I should say, is all the way to the left, and then 6th gear is 1.135 as you can see, with that final drive of 3.55. So as I said, you can definitely retune this and adjust it for, say, N400 or N500, and the handling will pretty much give you that good basis to work from of being really good through corners. So of course what you want to see is when it's out on the track, how does it compare to other tunes that we've done? Now, as far as this Beamer goes, the handling, as I mentioned in its review yesterday, of course, is already fantastic. So there's not a ton necessarily that you need to do to that. It's more just the suspension, lowering it, get that center of gravity down, drop the weight, stiffen it up a little bit, just so you can save a few points of a second here and there through corners and make it that much better overall. Now, in terms of lap time, it's not the best sports coupe that I've built in N300, not because of the tune, but just because of the car itself and what it has to offer. And as I mentioned again in the review yesterday, my N300 tune for the Hyundai Genesis is actually quicker than this. But again, the Hyundai is a really good car, so that's not exactly a bad comparison. The point is, if you do want to use this, it definitely has the ability to compete and to win, and who knows, if you tune it up with these settings to N400 instead and change the gearbox a little bit, you may even find that you like it more in N400. That's the whole point of the tunes. You can adjust it for your own requirements and play around, experiment with the tune, and then if something doesn't work, you can just come back, reset it and start again. So that's it for this build. Of course, if you want to check out all of my other setups, you can click here on screen, and for now, as always, thanks for watching.